and welcome to the Game Warrior. My name is Jason, and I am so excited to talk to you about Dante Inferno. I used to think it was Dante's Inferno, but it's not. It's just Dante Inferno. It's a 1 to 4 player boss battler. And you know me, I love my boss battlers. And what's my favorite boss battler of all time? It's Oathsworn. And we have a new one that just arrived that I've been playing and liking a lot called Primal. So we're going to take a look at not only this new campaign, which I have backed, but also how it compares to Oathsworn and Primal. All right. So this is a game from CGS, Creative Game Studios. They're the people who brought you Chronicles of Drunagar and Chronicles of Drunagar Apocalypse. I've got my Chronicles of Drunagar, but I've never played it. I'm excited about that game, and I will be ordering Apocalypse because I just know already that I'm going down that path. I'm down that path. All right. Couple background pieces. This is the Game Found campaign, and I will link it down below. Since I'm putting this up today, you will be able to go click on it, but it's 3 days left, so it's not much farther to go. Now, right now they are at 1,377,000. It'll probably go up quite a bit, a little, at the end of the campaign. I'm actually kind of surprised that that's so low. This felt to me like it might have a $2.5 million setting to it. I just kind of feel that Creative Game Studios has got some momentum, and I really felt like this game looks really good, and I really expected it to do a little better. Now, maybe it will on the back end. Maybe it'll close around 1.5 or 1.6, and then late pledges will come in. So, well, that's what it is. But let's take a look at this game. So this game, now I'm just scrolling through the pages here, but let me explain a little bit about this game. So this is very much like Oathsworn in the sense that it has 2 phases. Now they call these phases the Chronicle phase and the Confrontation phase. The Chronicle phase is your story phase, and it's designed around the 3 concepts of story and choices and test. Now here's what it looks like at the moment. This is what it looks like at a moment. It kind of looks like, and I'm not sure if it's exactly like Oathsworn, but it looks like the choices ultimately don't matter. Now, what do I mean by that? Because in Primal, you can choose your direction, which means it's replayable. But in Oathsworn, your story is your story. So you go through the 2 different paths in each story, but they always lead to the same encounter. They always do. Now, Oathsworn does it really well because it's really interesting to go down that path, particularly with the narration and the storytelling they have. It's really rich. But as you do it and you go through the tests in Oathsworn, you become aware that it doesn't really matter. You're going to fight the exact same boss at the end, just however you get there. You may have made poor choices and you're in a weakened condition, and that sucks, but you're going that way. So in old D&D parlance, we're talking about being railroaded, and it's fine. It's fine for me in Oathsworn. It's one of my favorite games. And I think, just to set an aside here, that as a designer, as a group of designers, it's really difficult to create the full branching storylines. Now, as a dungeon master for D&D, that happens because your players are going to go all over the place. You set a creative story and a line for them to go, and they usually go off. And that's what makes a good dungeon master, is that he can adjust. In board gaming, it's not been done as easily, and it's obviously why, because you don't have a human who can make these adjustments. So I don't know how the Chronicles setting goes. I did watch a review by Alex Radcliffe over at Board Game Co., and he talked about how the first time he went through it, it was okay. The second time, he started to like it less. And if you see in the comments below in this video, I think it's Rich from I keep saying this weirdly. CGS. Is it CGS? I don't want to mess that up. Creative Game Studios. Let's just say it that way. Said they're still looking at that and like, how can it be better? And so what I don't know, and I've asked, and I just don't have the answer yet, is that story branching? Can you really go left and fight a totally different boss? I don't know. I did hear, and I'm not sure, I asked about this too, that the story is 9 scenarios long. So that feels pretty short compared to Oathsworn, which is 20, which feels too long. And so if you'd asked me, I would have said 12. 12 feels like a full campaign, right? And if I'm correct, I think Primal is 12. 12. But they say it's really replayable because you can go through it again and just play a totally different version of it and hit 12 different monsters. So that's pretty interesting, right? Look, I don't mind being railroaded. I'm not the, because I understand, like you watch a movie, right? And you're like, I don't like this railroad. I don't like that Frodo's going to Mount Doom. I don't think he should go to Mount Doom. I don't want to go to Mount Doom. He's going to Mount Doom, right? How he gets there is the story. So I get it. As a creative myself, as a novelist, and you have a story to tell. And I believe these guys have a great story to tell. And so there's a degree to which it's on rails. This isn't a full sandbox adventure. So you buy in, you go, okay, I trust you guys. I trust you. Creative Game Studios, I trust you to tell a great story. And so I know that I may be railroaded a little because it is a story. I'm okay with that. But it just depends on what you're trying to offer. And I think they have a good story here because it has a lot of feel and it has a lot of atmosphere and it looks really good. Now, are they going to pull it off? Because I don't know how the Primal one, it just came in, so I don't know how that story is going to develop. I don't have the information to tell you. Now, Oathsworn is a deep, rich, full experience. Like, it's so well written. And the storytelling is just the world, the deep wood. It has atmosphere. It has pizzazz. It's something. Now, will this have that? We won't know until it comes out in a year or two. And that's just the way it is. But I think these guys, from what I've talked with them a little, very little, and other people, and looking at it, I think they know that story has to be good. I think they think the writing has to be good, that it has to be a rich experience, that what they're giving us is an experience and then putting the boss battler on it, which is so brilliant in my mind because I really hate the grind. I hate it in D&D. I hate the grind of little monsters. Here, you go through a cool story and then boom, you get the rich experience of the boss battler. And I'm just so looking forward to that. So another question I had that I didn't get answered, and maybe it is down here, and I should look maybe. Here's the boss cards included in the campaign, is how many characters they have. Does anyone know this? In Primal, you have 4, and that's it. You play those 4, one of those 4. And there's a 5th player expansion that has 2 more. Now, Oathsworn's totally different. I think there's 11, and they're all rich and varied and different. And so you have this wider range of choices. And I'm not sure which way they went here. They do say that the narration is 30 to 45 minutes and that they say the showdown, the boss battle, it is 1 to 4 players. So, but if you play in this game, you should understand you have to take all 4 characters. And they have a neat little piece of technology, which is they call the companions. So what that is that it's a simplified version of the characters. So you have your 4 characters, and you can simplify them down to companion status. Now, Oathsworn did this as well, and that makes it easy for one person to take. Maybe I'll take 2 full characters, and then I'll run 2 companions, because you always have to have 4. And so because of that, it's just a system that allows a single solitary player to play, or 2 players to take a full character and a companion, and my wife Jenny might take a full player and a companion. So it's a pretty cool technology. The characters aren't nerfed in power, they're just nerfed in simplicity. So that's pretty cool. Now it does say branching storyline with meaningful decisions. Is it? I don't know. Can you go left and not right? In Oathsworn, you can't. In Oathsworn, you're just going down the line. You have meaningful decisions. It is an impact on gameplay. Oathsworn could say this, but is the story branching? This will be interesting. Let's see if it is, right? No downtime, cinematic encounters, dynamic battlefield. I think they're going to hit it out of the park. And by the way, I'll be playing this game, not this weekend, which is SaltCon, but the weekend after, I'll be playing and demoing it in the hot room at Dice Tower West. So I think I'm teaching it. I don't know. The stuff to talk to Alex about exactly what my job is. Anyways, why back now? They say get it easier. Get it, cheaper. For me, it seems like it's pretty clear that I'm going to get the all-in. I haven't immediately. The Eternal Pledge, right there. Right, that's probably what I'm going to get. Just get it all. I trust this company. I hope they don't have any problems, like Lazy Squire Games or Mythic or anything like that. They seem to. In fact, they even put this off. They could have done this last year, this campaign, but they said, we're going to get Apocalypse done before we do it. That's class. I mean, come on. I trust these guys. I hope they have good luck in terms of, what's going on. Not everything is a publisher's fault when things go wrong. So I did back the Explorer's Pledge. I'll probably just stay with that until I get to the Pledge Manager, and then I'll up it to the All-In. Get it faster, limit exclusives, unlock more languages, stretch pay. This is pretty cool because they let it stretch pay over 10 installments, which is one reason I might just get that Eternal Pledge now. When I did Simon's Tactics, I just told everyone that, right? I went the All-In, and their stretch pay was over 4 payments. So I went for the $600 one, so each payment's like, a lot because they're dividing that by 4. I was like, okay, guys, that's not much of a stretch pay. But this one's over 10, so that's nice, which means I'll probably up it to the Eternal Pledge straight away. And I hope they deliver. I trust these guys, and I look at the game, and I think it's going to be really good. I think the boss battle, from what I can tell, is going to be more simple than Oathsworn. And hopefully that streamlining works, because I love Oathsworn, but there is something to the combat system that's a little clunky sometimes. And so maybe these guys just stripped it back a little to the point where it sings. Oh, that would be exciting. That would be exciting. It is a dice rolling game, if you're asking about that, and that's part of what it is. And there is one thing in it, and I saw some people talking about this on the other page, on Alex's page. And by the way, I think I'll put links to Alex's video. I'll put links to this page here, and I know Paul Grogan did a demo and a playthrough, and I think another place did. So I'll put all those links down there, so you can go find them, or you can just search for them on Google, on YouTube. But I'll help you. Gosh, what was I talking about? I wanted to make sure I covered those links. Oh, there is this little math thing, and they do this over at Oathsworn as well. What you get all your hits, and then you divide it by their defense, and then so if they have a defense of 4, and you roll 4 hits, you divide it by, and it's 1 hit. And Primal has some funky stuff going on with theirs as well. And I've said this in my Primal video. Or my recent, I don't know, I just said this recently, and it was like, what's going on? Like, why not just do hit points? I hit for 7 damage. Okay, divide that by 3, and then do the ambulatory flip around quadratic conflation, and then find out how many hits. I did 7 damage, dude. Now, you got a monster with 40 chits on it, right? Or 70 hit points. Then you're like, oh man, that's a pain in the ass. So maybe that's what it is. I'd love to know if anyone out there at the Creative Game Studios is listening, or the Oathsworn people, or the Primal people. Why didn't you just do massive hit points? Why do this? What's the design decision? Because I trust that there is one. There's a way that you did it 15 different ways, and you went, yeah, we had them with 70 hit points, and you did 7 damage, and we're taking chits, and we're like, there's got to be a better way of doing it. But I do know some people, not me, some people worry about all the math. Okay, what else have we got? Oh, one thing that they do have, and I'm not sure how it's going to play, is they have sin cards. And so this reminds me a little bit of the madness mechanic, and I'm not sure if it really is. The idea where if you engage in the sin, you get a bonus, right? And then a negative later on, kind of like a Cthulhu madness technique. I'm really excited about that. I hope that works really well, so that there's always this sense of temptation. And that would be just so thematic for this, right? And it does look like they've done their homework on this game. They've looked into the whole Inferno, Dante's work, and I think it's going to be rich with the story and atmosphere. It's really going to be till we get it on the table. Oathsworn looked amazing. Excuse me. And then when we got it and we played it, it had that magic feel. So I can't recommend to you whether you get this or not, because we have the base to know it's good. We have enough information to know it's good. We know that. And that's enough for me. I'm backing it. I'm in. What we don't know is it going to be magical when it really gets going, like Oathsworn is. And I'm still wondering about Primal. Like the base game mechanic is really fun, but will it be magical when I get into the campaign? We'll see. We'll see. See, there's so much to these games on crowdfunding that people want every bit of information they can get. Now, look, I get you that you want it. I want every piece so I don't make a mistake. And it's just not working that way. It doesn't work that way. You have to get enough in a feel for it, and then you go, yeah, I'm going for this. You gotta kind of trust your gut and your feel, right? It can't be all X's and O's, because once these games get put on the table and you play them, they start to take on a magic and a feel, right? A feel that has more. It's like the synergy. It's more than the sum of its parts. And will we know? We have no idea. I'm backing it. I'm hoping. But I also accept that I might play it, get it, play 10 games and go, well, that was okay, and let it go. That's fine. That's fine. Not everything has to be the best in the world, and you can't control every piece of your life. Okay. Now let's talk about the reaction system. And so I don't know where this was pioneered. I don't. But I first really saw it in Oathsworn. So it's recent for me. And it's the idea, the old version is you take your turn, and then the monster goes. You take your turn, and the monster goes. And when you started to play video games, like the boss battles like Diablo and stuff, you started to see that they were programming on reactions. Basically, the monster wouldn't just take a turn. If you hit it this way, it'd punch you this way. If you hit it this way, it would start to be a dynamic mover. And if you've ever played D&D against your friends, which I have, then you throw down your stuff, you forget the monsters, and you fight each other. It's very dynamic. You don't know what your friend's going to do across the table. Friend? Okay, so they're trying in the board game industry to build in this concept of random reaction. Now, we've just been playing Primal. And at this stage, and I have a small scope of them. These are the 3 games I've played with reactions in them. Primal is really good. Like, it's unpredictable what this monster's going to do. It's unpredictable. Oathsworn, unpredictable, but not, it's still, that once you knock one of the area's zones down, it's going to get a reaction. So if it's got flank and you knock the flank down, once you get that flank to 0 hit points, it's going to get a reaction. And it's really cool. But it's not like as wild as Primal. Primal is like, you're just like, I don't know what this thing's going to do, man, right? And it just flips sideways, and you have everything planned, and you're going to hit it in its tail, and it flips around. You're like, oh, everything went out the drain. Oh, and so Primal really, really hitting into that. Will these guys hit into that? I don't know. There's a negative to that, too. I want you to point that out. You get your whole plan. You get your cards in Primal. You're like, this. You got it all planned, and you're ready to go. And then it does something weird, and it ruins your plan. And that's not always fun. Like, you've got this sequence. You know it. You finally built up. You've got your head on straight. You planned it. And then, boom, it's useless. Yeah, that's real life. But do you like that? Or do you like setting up a combo and having it go off? It does work sometimes. Obviously, it does work, but sometimes it doesn't. So this reaction system is like it's like love it or hate it, or both at the same time. It's really interesting. So far, I'm liking it, but more so in Primal. And this isn't a review of Primal, obviously, but there's some times when I am ready to go, and then and it's all down the drain, and you do nothing. That feels realistic. It feels tight. It creates tension, and it's not fun. It's not fun when it happens to you. I've always said in games, let me play my game. Let me play my game, right? And so there's games like that take that games. And sometimes if I have an army and I attack you and I destroy you, and then you attack back and you destroy me, that kind of take back works. But if you have these cards that go, okay, here's your plan, and he goes, I play a card that says whatever you do, you can't do. I'm like, okay, wow, you got me. Ha ha, ha ha. Remember in Magic the Gathering? Who here has played Magic the Gathering? Raise your hand. You play a card and then counterspell. Okay, counterspell. Man, I used to build counterspell decks back in the old days, back in antiquities and the actual antiquities, right? And alpha and beta and unlimited. And man, I would just build heavy counterspell decks. I think they've kind of taken that out because of that. Here's my plan. I play it. Counterspell. Okay, here's my counterspell. Okay, I would like to play the game, please. You don't get to. Oh, that's a design area, right? And you can see in Magic they've cut back on counterspells, right? Because it really just sucks to have a game plan that you can't play. So how is this all going to work? How are the reactions going to work? Again, I kind of trust that this is going to be cool. It feels cool. The battle system looks like it's going to work. I don't know so much about the story. Hopefully they build it up and put it rich and it's like just captivating, like Oathsworn. And even if they have to rail me a little, I'm okay with that. Though it's also kind of interesting if they just open it up. Anyways, what else do we have? Well, I got some notes over here. So how does it feel? Yeah, that's about everything I have to say about this game. I'm going to back it. Their campaign's fun. It's less fun than a CMON campaign, and they probably did that purposely because people hate CMON campaigns. I love CMON campaigns because there's the daily unlocks and the stretch goals and the daily unlocks and what's coming next. And you know that at the end of that campaign, you're going to get your base box and then a box of goodies. Yeah, love CMON. Oh, they just keep doing it. And all you people who complain about them, don't buy it. But I know in reaction to that, many companies are going, this is it. This is what we got. There's no surprises. We're not going to nickel and dime you with expansion after expansion after expansion. They act like victims. I don't understand people who hate the way CMON does that. You act like a victim. Oh, here's another expansion. Look at you. Oh, I'm a victim of another expansion. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Be an adult. I mean, I have passed on CMON campaigns, expansion after expansion after expansion. Hell, I canceled Marvel's Zombicide. I went in, then they came out 2 months later and said, yeah, your shipping is $500. That's an exaggeration. You know, it was ridiculously high. I said, oh yeah, that's too much. Canceled it. You know, minus 10%. That's fine. I've made a choice. I'm an adult. You're not a victim. So these guys went more like this is what it is. And there are some stretch goals. They're not impressing me in any way, shape, or form. I don't think they wanted to. You know, there is a little bit of stuff going, get some of the unlocks and so forth. It's just not some unlock stuff, you know, characters and cards. Doesn't, you know, a new ballista, that looks cool. A mercenary. So there's some cool stuff. Just put it in the box for me. And I'll get it. The fortune teller narration is separate. I get the environmental miniature pack, the character pack. Of course I'm going to do all that. The Tainted Champion, the Pristine Champion. Does anyone know, like, how many characters do you have to choose from? I'm still not getting that information out of this thing. Here it is. Core box contents. Let's look together. 4 champion standees. So the core box has 4 champions. So it's not like Oathsworn. I think that's our conclusion here. Here's the champions. Yep. Ludmilla, Annabelle. I keep asking this question, and the answer was here all along. I'm a goof. Gadisa. We got 2 women, 1 warrior. So 2 women, 2 men. I think there would be more men than women fighting back in this time if it was accurate to the times. Just saying that. But I don't really care. Gadisa, mercenary. That is interesting. I don't know, again, just for accuracy, that there were a lot of black warriors in Italy at this time. That seems a little out of tune with the story, but again, I don't care. And an outlaw. So you got an outlaw, a mercenary. So you got kind of your warrior types, right? Maybe your outlaw is your thief type, right? A devotee, maybe a cleric-ish type. I'm not looking deep into this, but pious maiden, devotee sounds like a cleric, right? And an artist, pariah wanderer. I'm not sure if she's a magic user or just something different. She's got 19 plus unique maneuver cards, champion cards. So, okay, so you got to play one of these 4, right? And so you don't have the outlaw, the Oathsworn thing. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm not pooping on you guys. I'm just saying that. And then the different levels. We got Limbo, Lust. Look, this is so rich. I'm really excited for what they're doing. And their miniatures, I trust these guys are going to build a beautiful story based on this beautiful setting and with beautiful miniatures. gluttony. Look at this avarice and the feel. And what they're going to, in story-wise, they're going to try to thematically create each encounter area to be gluttonous. And then which one, lusting, and how will they test our sins that way? This could be one of the best. This marriage is going to be great. I like the mechanics, at least of the battle. I'm not sure about the storytelling in the beginning, the chronicle phase, but it's not the core of the game as much. You got character models, you got avarice, you got wrath, heresy, violence, fraud, and 9th level of treachery. How do they pull that out? Lucifer standee. Oh my gosh, look at that miniature. 90mm base. Big miniatures. That's another thing that Oathsworn did. Big miniatures. Give me big miniatures. Primal did it too. I mean, this is the day and age. Give me big miniatures. I love it. I love that the Oathsworn characters are big too. I wonder, from what I've seen, I don't think these characters up here are going to be big. CGS, you fix me if I'm wrong on that. I don't know how big these are. Is it going to tell us? It's going to tell us. 25mm base. Okay, so I think that's small. That's normal. 25mm was our old D&D size, and sometimes they go up to 33. So you won't get the big ones that you got from Oathsworn. I would have liked bigger ones, but they know what they're doing. They tested it 100 times, and this is the way it's going to work the best for them. Okay, is there anything more to look at down here? The terrain looks amazing. The board, there's the foldable terrain. This is going to be great. The cards. This is all the base, right? Let's see. Eternal. This is the all-in, right? What do you get for that? You get the base Eternal box, limited exclusive, single box. Now, this thing really did sell me on that. See, they're going to take all of the stuff from the expansions, all of it. If you go all in, and it comes in one box. Uno. Has anyone here got Massive Darkness 2 in the stack of boxes? Oh my gosh, it's too much, right? And this is brilliant. Oh, you guys, that's a home run. You just did it. Touchdown pass. 3-pointer. There we go. Okay, at the buzzer. Look at this all fitting together. I do want to say I hope your rule book is good. I'm going to find that out because I think I'm going to be looking at one pretty quick as I get ready for Dice Tower West. I really like what you're doing here. The little things are the big things. I hope you guys continue to take care of those things. I'm excited for that. Let's see. Unlocks and so forth. Okay, well, that's enough. Let me know. Are you backing this? Was this useful? Was this video's time spent with me, 30 minutes chatting, BSing about games, useful to you? Was it entertaining? Say hi. Let me know what games you're interested in. There is another game out there called Inferno at the exact same time. It's more of a Euro game, and I do like the look of it. And I think I'm also going to be demoing that at Dice Tower West. So that'll be interesting. I don't know if I'm going to back that. And part of that is probably resource management, because right now a lot of resources went into Tactics, A Song of Ice and Fire, and a lot of resources are going here. And Stretch Pay is going to help, but I don't know how much space I have for other games for a while. And if you've been following my channel, like a truckload of Kickstarters have been coming in, and oh wow, where are we going to find the time to play all those? Yeah, we're inundated. So it might be time to slow down. Last year was a slowdown. This year might be even slower. We might just stop right here and might not back another game for a long time. Having said that, I'm going to go to Dice Tower West. I'm going to go to SaltCon here in Salt Lake, and I'm probably going to play some games that I want. But that's okay. Maybe I'll just pick them up at retail. All right, everybody. Until next time, this has been Jason from the Game Warrior looking at Dante Inferno and comparing it to Oathsworn and Primal.